PC builds are getting more accessible again, so more people are getting back into PC gaming, and some people still may not know what to look for, so they're looking for pre-builds. So today I'm going to be showing you guys pre-builds that you should be considering in 2023 after this message. This video is brought to you by Oak Network. Oak Network is building automation infrastructure for crypto and payment streams on Web 3.0. By harnessing the power of Polkadot, Oak is pioneering cross-chain automation with a head start. Their automation blockchain will enable multi-chain apps to schedule and automate based on time, price, and smart contract triggers. The current available solutions for blockchain automation are off-chain hybrid solutions. The issue with these solutions is that they leverage outdated technologies as middlemen, with increased vulnerabilities and higher fees. Oak's decentralized high-performance blockchain solves these concerns with lower fees. Chris Lee, the CEO, and the Oak Network team are striving to bring their on-chain solutions to the blockchain. Oak Network continues to build its automation formula as they lead the industry to become the Tesla of automated payment solutions on the blockchain. If you'd like to see how you can get involved with Oak Network professionally or join the community, check the links below to join the Discord and get easy access to the community, as well as resources and quick updates and everything that's going on at Oak Network today. Hey guys, it's Chris with Tech Vibe. Today we're going to be looking at pre-built PCs that you should probably be considering in 2023. Now, before we get too deep into it and I start showing you guys my recommendations for these PCs, I wanted to give you guys some information, so if you do want to make your own decision here and you don't really want to go with the PCs I show you today, well, you may have a little bit of information to take along with you. That way you can make your own decisions and be a little bit better informed. So, for those of you that may not know, there are 3 different resolutions that you would probably be looking at to be playing on if you're getting into the PC world at this point in time. And we got 4K, 1440p, and 1080p. Now, there are lower resolutions, of course, but these 3 would be the primary ones that I would be looking to and are going to be the ones that I'll be showing you today. Now, for those of you guys that are looking to do just straight gaming, don't care about any sort of content creation, you're going to be wanting to look for something that has at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. And that's going to be true throughout whatever resolution that you're wanting to play at. Will not matter here. Now, for those of you that are wanting to get into a more serious content creation, professional type of workload, maybe you're wanting to stream, game, and do your own editing and maybe even do some 3D rendering. If you get into that stuff, you're going to want to be looking at something along the lines of at least 32 gigabytes. Now, if you are wanting to do some sort of 4K gaming, then I would probably be looking for pre-builds that have at least a 3070 Ti and up. Now, that's on the NVIDIA side. If we're talking about AMD GPUs, I wouldn't go lower than an RX 6800. And obviously, the higher up you go, the better it's going to handle 4K. But if you are wanting to get into more 1440p gaming, I would not be going any lower than an RTX 3060. Now, for the AMD side on that, I wouldn't be looking for anything below an RX 5600 XT. But also keep in mind, guys, that these GPUs here, the higher up you are, they're going to handle these lower resolutions much better. So, for example, a RTX 3080 or 3090 even is going to handle 1440p much easier than it does the 4K. Now, guys, it can go all the way up to 4090s, and that can be said all the way coming from top down. But just keep in mind, the higher up GPU, the better it's going to handle the lower resolutions. That kind of tinkers off and changes when you get into 1080p, because then it becomes more of a CPU bound bottleneck, and you guys may not understand that, so we won't get too much into that. Going back to resolutions, 1080p GPUs, you should be looking for probably 2060s, 1660 Supers, 1660 Ti's, GTX 1050s are still really solid 1080p cards. Keep in mind that these are for current titles. As we go on, these may struggle further and further with titles such as Cyberpunk and whatever else is going to be the new and shiny that comes out. So keep that in mind. This is going to be true throughout. All of hardware tends to come down as newer stuff comes out. So now getting into my recommendations for PCs for you guys today, we're going to be starting from 4K, working our way down to 1440p, and then coming down to 1080p. Now, the PCs that I'll be showing you today, I'm going to try to keep it to where you guys can easily upgrade them yourself if you want to do that in the future. I don't want to give you guys any sort of OEM type of systems because they're going to be proprietary stuff where you have to completely change out the motherboard, or you have to completely change out the RAM, and only certain pieces of RAM works with it. It can be a headache. So I'm just going to try to keep this to where you guys can easily do change outs for yourselves if you want to in the future. I just think it's easier that way. So I want to make things as easy as I can for you guys. So that's what we're going to be trying to do here. Just thinking of you guys' future going forward. I want to give you guys recommendations that are going to be able to last, and you're going to be able to grow with them if you choose to do so. So let's get into 4K. So starting off with our most expensive, but probably our best of the pre-builds we're going to be showing you guys today, we have the Skytech Pro Eclipse. Now this one does come with a 13900K, which is a CPU that I actually have in my current system, and it does come with an RTX 4090. Now this is probably the top GPU that is out right now, so all's to be expected with the price being what it is. But we've got 1 terabyte of NVMe storage. It's going to give you fast downloads, installations, loading times for your games. When I say downloads, I mean when you are installing stuff to your hard drive. Now, download speed is going to obviously be dependent on your ISP, your internet provider, but 32 gigs of RAM at DDR5, which is going to be great to see here. You're getting the highest spec of RAM that is out currently, and we've got a 420 millimeter AIO cooler. That is pretty good. This is a top of the line AIO here. It's not all flashy, doesn't have a bunch of RGB on it, but guys, this is a really good AIO. Now it does come with some RGB fans if you guys are looking for that, so you'll get your RGB fix there. But this is a very solid pre-build here. Price is pretty up there, I know, but hey guys, you're gonna be able to play whatever you want to play at 4K, no problems, no issues. This is gonna be able to handle it. I don't see what our power supply is, but I am going to assume we're at least getting 1,000 in here. This is going to be solid, guys. This is going to be a good choice, I think. I don't see anything wrong here. Now, as we continue with our 4Ks, we have a AMD build, and this is going to be the Ryzen 7 7700X. Now, this does come with a 4080, where the other one did come with a 4090, but as you can see, guys, we are paying $1,000 less, which arguably, in my opinion, you're not going to see the $1,000 worth it performance between the 4080 and the 4090, I assure you. So this is good to see here. This is probably pretty decently priced here. We've got even a 2 terabyte M.2, and that's good to see. It's going to have plenty of room here. AMD's doing fine with theirs. They do great with their multifunction processes, whether you're trying to game and stream at the same time or you're trying to do content creation. You're going to be set up here pretty good. And you can see here, guys, it does give you our specific parts that we're going to get here. So that's good to see. It does say for the GPU, no, it actually says exactly what GPU you're going to be getting with this. So Bluetooth ready, VR ready, Wi-Fi, yes, it has it. This is solid and even comes with a game. I don't know what game that is, never heard of it, might not be that great, but for the price that you're paying here, guys, it's not terrible. That's pretty good. In all honesty, that is pretty solid. And ABS and Skytech, those guys do pretty well to help you out if something goes wrong during shipping or there's some sort of issues. They're really good to be there to help you out and get it solved. I've had no issues with other people that I've recommended these PCs, and they've gone out and gotten them. They've loved them. They've done great. So for my Best Buy people here, we got the CyberPower PC, and this is going to be another 4K coming at you here. Now we do take a hit here, and to be honest, I wouldn't go this route given the things I can match it up against, but I know some people get special deals with Best Buy, so this is for you guys. We are getting 16 gigs of RAM here. 16 will get the job done if you are just trying to get in this for just regular Twitch streaming or, gaming. You'll be fine with 16. It'll still handle it. It'll get the job done. We do have a 4080 in here. Definitely going to be able to push that 4K gaming. And we are getting a little bit more storage, but we're giving it up as far as the M.2. We're only getting 1 terabyte of M.2 here, but we are getting 2 terabytes of regular hard drive space. So if you have any sort of those games that you don't necessarily care about loading into games quickly, you can put them on that 2 terabyte. But if you want the games that you play quite often, throw them on the 1 terabyte, you'll be good. This is a solid PC. It's not an i9 13900K, but this is still a pretty powerful CPU. You're gonna be doing all right. There's not too much that you won't be able to do with this thing. I would say you could do anything you would want to do with this PC. So I would like to see it a little bit lower given what we'd match it up to on the ABS PC, but it is what it is. It's Best Buy. People get deals from them. So here it is. My Best Buy PC. Bringing it back to Newegg, we have another Skytech PC coming for you guys, the Skytech Chronos. Now this does come with an i7-12700F, and that is going to be a class below the 1300s that we just saw just a little bit ago, but this does come with an RX 7900 XTX, which currently is AMD's top GPU. And that's nothing to scoff at. These are pretty good GPUs here. Now we do get a 1 terabyte of M.2 here. We get 16 gigs of RAM of DDR4, which is still plenty fast, but it is not going to be the highest grade that is currently available. Considering this, the price of this is usually around $2,000. I know it says out of stock right now. I'm sure it'll be coming back up soon. Don't worry too much about that. These things kind of fluctuate here, but around $2,000 is what you'll be paying for this. It's definitely going to be a $600 drop off, but you will be seeing it in the parts here. So, and I don't feel you'll have too much of a drop off in performance. Now, with the AMD GPUs, you're not going to get DLSS, which you guys may not be familiar with. It's some type of upscaling, which does allow for a little bit of higher frame rate pushing. It's done through some sort of AI process, which NVIDIA's been working on this for a while and they continue to try and improve it. A lot of people like it. Some people don't care for it. AMD's usually been one to just push true frames, but this, I mean, we take a look here and it even kind of gives us a heads up as to what we can expect with this PC, at 4K. If we're talking about Rainbow Siege, 390 FPS, it's a pretty good tool here. Actually, this is kind of takes a lot of guesswork out for people, so that's good to see. Pretty solid. It's gonna get the job done still, guys. I know it says out of stock right there, but like I said, this is about $2,000 usually, so not bad. It's not bad. It's a good choice. Still on our 4K, still in Newegg. Here we are. We got the ABS Stratos Ruby High Performance Gaming PC. And this one is going to be for AMD's Ryzen 770X, which is their newest line of CPUs. And we even got NVIDIA's newest line coming with the 4070 Ti. Now, this also does come with 16 gigabytes of DDR5. Which is the newest architecture of RAM that's available for custom, for customers, for retail customers, that is. So we've got 1 terabyte of M.2 SSD. So for $1,900 for this PC, I would say you're doing pretty good, to be honest. It is a 4070 Ti, but it's gonna have DLSS, which is super handy. I would love to see more RAM, but it's also at DDR5. Probably going to be fine. 16 can carry you a long way here. We got the handy dandy tool here to show us what we can expect with our PC here to perform at 4K. Here's a bigger list. Here's what, if you guys want to see it, this is it. You want to see what this thing can do right here. Now we're going to move on to the 1440p side, and we are starting off with the Skytech Shadow Gaming PC. Now we are doing another Skytech, but like I said, guys, Skytech and ABS PCs are pretty good. I mean, they definitely have fairly decent customer service if things do go wrong. So I like to keep them in the loop. I've had no issues with them. And here we go, guys. We've got the Intel Core i5 12400F. Now, this does come with a 3060 Ti, which, like I said to you guys earlier, I wouldn't be going and looking for anything lower than a 3060 if we're talking about 1440p gaming. Here we are with the Ti version. Pretty solid card, honestly. You're going to be able to do really anything that you would want to do at 1440p in the current games right now. This can handle it. Going to be able to stream still, going to be able to do all that. Kind of feels like the new GPUs kind of came out pretty quickly. Keep in mind, guys, the 30 series still can handle games. I still use a 30 series GPU. I'm still using a 3080 Ti. I play everything at 4K on high settings just fine. I wouldn't snuff at the 30 series if you guys are considering thinking you gotta have the 40 series GPUs. You don't. You really don't. Now coming in with our next 1440p gaming PC, I know we got another Skytech. Now this is going to be very similar to what we saw just a little bit ago. Just going to be turning our GPU down to a 3060 instead of a 3060 Ti. I wouldn't really go lower than this. $1,000 to spend on a GPU, which this is, if we are going to get the GPU within here, this is going to be an Asus GPU, which was a very expensive thing. This is a nice looking pre-built. When you're out there trying to get a 30 series, you wanted this GPU because it definitely looked the best out of all of them. And it looks good in this case. So, you know, this is a solid pick, $1,000. You're going to be playing 1440p and looking good doing it. Now, before we move on to 1080p, I had to get my Best Buy bros, their PC out here. So here we go. We got another Skytech one, Skytech Chronos. Now, this does come with a 5600X. Very solid CPU. I definitely have built many PCs with that CPU in there. It does just fine for gaming, even can handle streaming. Now this does come with the AMD RX 6600 XT. Gonna do just fine in 1440p, guys. Now, like I said earlier, when I was talking about 1440p, I wouldn't have gone below a 5600 XT. And look here, we're looking at the generation up, the 6600 XT, which is its replacement, and it's gonna do just fine. When I built my wife her PC, I got the 5600 XT and I put that in her PC. She was run 1440p, played anything she wanted to just fine. High settings, we're just fine. So here we are with another Skytech PC, but we are talking about our 1080p setup. Now, guys, I know Skytech, it is what it is, guys. They're good. This thing's running around the 4.5 star rating, guys, and that's not just for this PC. They usually run this. They do well, and they help you out if issues go wrong. So, you know, you got Skytech helping you out and Amazon, two customer-centric, focused type of companies going on here. Yeah, I would say Amazon's probably lost a little bit of their customer focus. But anyways, that's tangent. But guys, this PC here, it's good. I mean, we got an i3 1200 100F, RTX 3050, 1080p. You gonna run what you want to. 2080p, we're gonna be having no problems. We're gonna be having a great time on the low for $8.99. Sometimes there's a coupon. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a lower here. I don't know. I'd look out for it. Might go on sale for a little bit more. But this is a good PC, guys. You're going to be running 1080p, no problem. You're in there, playing whatever you want to. Okay, so before we finish, I just wanted to throw this one in here. This is going to be one of the more ultra-low budget type of PCs for you guys. And I know I said I wasn't going to do any OEM stuff, but I wanted to throw this out here because maybe there's some people out there that can't afford that $1,000 PC and they want to get what they can get. So this is for you guys. And just know that if you are wanting to get this and you're wanting to try to do some upgrades out of this thing, there's not going to be too much you can be able to do because a lot of this is going to be proprietary stuff. The motherboard for sure is going to be proprietary here. Are these USBs here? That's directly into the motherboard, so it's not going to be something that you can just change out the motherboard anytime. It's going to be a headache. Nonetheless, now this is going to be a integrated graphics GPU or CPU, so you aren't going to have a dedicated GPU in here. So you're going to be kind of limited to the frame rates that you can push here, as well as the quality and graphics that you can as well do but it can still do 1080p, and most games it'll still be able to do 30 FPS at 1080p. Probably not high settings, maybe mid settings, depends on the game. Older the game is going to do better, but if you're trying to get into the scene and, you know, whatever it is you're trying to play, lower end graphic type of thing, guys, you're going to be able to do it with this. You get what you pay for type of scenario here. But in the future, you know, if you wanted to get another GPU, maybe a 1660, 2060 possibly, throw it in there. I believe it should still be able to push it with the current power supply and be just fine. So this is my super ultra low budget for you guys out there. I hope this helps. So there it is, guys. That's going to be my suggestions for the PCs you should be considering in 2023. Now, if you do have any additional questions, guys, feel free to ask. I definitely try to help out on this channel, do what I can to help. I don't know everything. I'm not afraid to admit that. I'll definitely do my best to go out and try to find the answer. If I don't know, I try to help. That's what I try to do here. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it wasn't. Let me know what I could have done better. I'll see you guys in the next one.